respond to this. Let's talk about a vested interest in the community. What is the Koch brothers' vested interest in this community? What is the telecom industry's vested interest in this community? What is oil and gas vested interest in this community? So Dan Donovan has taken their money, and then he has voted to repeal emission standards. He's taken this money, and then he's voted to say that they can sell our internet browsing data without us even giving permission. So we can talk about where money is coming from, but if you want to see the horrendous effects, the toxic nature of transactional politics, you need to look no further than this man's FEC reports, because it's written right out there in the open. Oh, just 7 years. Dan, I don't understand what the point is of having you in the majority if we're going to be targeted for additional taxes. I don't get this.
Because we got a $10,000 cap that we wouldn't have had at all if it wasn't for my negotiations.
If your party was not in the majority, this never would have happened in the first place.
Let me tell you something. My opponent has preached that he wants to raise taxes on the rich, but about 90% of our small businesses file their taxes as LLCs, which will result, his plan would result in an increase in 90% taxes on our small businesses.
I don't know what second-rate consultant gave you that fact, but that is ridiculous.
Do you agree?
We have got to set the record straight here. Dan Donovan voted against this tax bill. Now he wants to take credit for it, but he thinks that we got a better tax deduction than we would have otherwise. It's this type of D.C. doublespeak that makes people hate politics in the first place.
Max, you have said in your commercials that not only do I have to go and Bill de Blasio has to go, we should throw everybody out of office. Yet the people here and people throughout America have voted for the people who are in office. So if you think everybody should go, do you believe in term limits for members of Congress? And if you do, how long of a term should it be?
Sure. So, Dan, first of all, just to make sure we're all on the same page, while they all got to go, we are going to start with you. And if you want to understand my immigration stance, well, I stand with Dan Donovan from 2017. I'm for comprehensive immigration reform. I am for sanctuary cities. The only reason I'm not for ripping scared children away from their parents. Now, the only reason why Dan Donovan changed his beliefs is because Michael Grimm decided to primary him. And his pollsters and his donors said, Dan, you gotta change. You gotta flip-flop. And I promise you, if his pollsters and his donors told him, Dan, you'll win this election by saying you got to abolish ICE, he'd be the first one on the corner with an abolish ICE t-shirt and pom-pom saying that's what we got to do. For doing that, I just led a coalition of 107 candidates to call on the Democratic Party to make anti-corruption measures their #1 bill in 2019, and they said yes to it. We're going to start to drain the swamp, because you know what? When Donald Trump was talking about draining the swamp, he was talking about Dan Donovan. So let's do it. Let's do it.
Mr. Donovan, do you plan to dress up for Halloween?
I do.
If I could ask.
Well, my baby's going to be a giraffe, so I guess I'll be a giraffe tamer.
Okay. Mr. Rose.
I haven't thought about it. We got to win an election. Maybe I'll be Dan Donovan. He's got more hair than me, so it's good. He's my idol.
Mr.